So, willkommen zu einem neuen Part von Genshin Impact. So, wir wollen hier jetzt die Citlalis Story durchziehen und die fangen wir dann auch mal ganz geschwind an und gucken, was das dann so für uns bereithält. Ich hoffe nur, ich bin gleich richtig. Ich weiß jetzt nicht, ob ich hier oben hin muss oder hier unten, aber das sieht richtig aus.
Huh?
Ja.
What are the Fatui doing here? That's a little concerning. Let's go over there and see what they're up to. Also, how did they get this close to a tribal settlement?
Nun, wenn man bedenkt, was der Capitano für Lappland getan hat, vielleicht wurde ihnen ein bisschen mehr Freiraum gegeben.
Huh. All the Fatui left in Natlan are probably the captain's subordinates. That basically makes them followers of one of Natlan's heroes. Still, once a Fatus, always a Fatus. Something seems off seeing them here. Let's go check it out.
Erinnerungen voll fließender Farben. Wahrheit über der Schlacht der 7 Farben? Höre die verdächtigen Fatui. Na gut, dann machen wir das eben ganz knapp. Ich will mit den drei Fragezeichen hier sprechen.
What are you guys doing here?
Following orders. If you have a problem, take it up with our employer.
Hey, what's with the attitude? Can the Fatui even work for a private employer?
Bestimmt.
This is Grudok. I hired him to be my bodyguard in Natlan. As you can see, he's not the sociable type. I'm sorry for any offense. My original plan was to hire someone from the local tribes, but a priest recommended Grudok and his squad. I was told they were capable fighters and had the time to spare, so they fit the bill. It seems like the Fatui's reputation in Natlan is quite positive.
So that's what happened. Then you must be from Fontaine?
Precisely! Montluçon, at your service. I work in the publication business. And you two...
Oh, you know us?
A golden-haired traveler with a floating companion. There's no mistake. Your exploits in Fontaine have all the makings of a best-selling series. I'd be a failure of a book merchant if I couldn't recognize you.
Wow, we're really famous at this point, traveler.
Ja, das sind wir schon seit
It's
Leo.
truly my lucky day. I know this is sudden, but I was actually looking for you two.
So, you chased us all the way to Natlan?
You'll be generously rewarded, I promise you.
Well, at least he got straight to the point. Should we hear what he has to say?
Irgendwas sagt mir, dass wir aus der Sache nicht mehr rauskommen. Und wenn die Bezahlung stimmt,
Alright, we'll hear you.
You know the great shaman Citlalis, right? I need her help with something.
Yeah, but the chances of her helping a random stranger just because we asked?
bei ihrer Persönlichkeit ziemlich gering.
Yeah, Citlalis really doesn't like dealing with strangers.
I heard about that from other members of her tribe. But they told me if one person could convince her, it would be the golden-haired traveler.
Was?
If you manage it, I'll even double your pay.
Warum benötigt er ihre Hilfe?
Oh yeah, we should definitely get to the bottom of that.
It's kind of a long story, and there's tribal history involved, so you should hear it from an expert. Alie, if you could.
Of course. I don't often have an eager audience for this kind of thing. Nice to meet you. The name's Alie. I'm a researcher from the Fontaine. Unlike most researchers, I have a keen interest in ancient ruins. That's why I was invited to join Monsieur Montluçon's team. Have you heard of the legend of the great shaman Huitzilin?
Nö. Kommt mir bekannt vor. Das war doch die mit Farben gearbeitet hat, oder?
Yes. According to local records, she was a color mystic who lived over 200 years ago. And the most adept in her tribe. Out of all of her exploits, her most celebrated is the Battle of Seven Colors. According to legend, the battle was triggered by an abyss invasion, one of the most brutal in Natlan's. Amazingly, Natlan was able to turn the tide despite being at an extreme disadvantage. The key to victory was none other than a color Huitzilin created on the battlefield. The color was extraordinary, illusory in appearance while also seeming to possess physical form. Legend has it that Huitzilin used the color to construct a magnificent maze on the battlefield and trap all the enemies inside. This allowed her allies to launch a counterattack and ultimately secure victory.
Anyway, that's the gist of it. We don't want to take up too much of your time. That story is the reason I came to Natlin. I often publish books about the history of other nations. They always end up faring well on the market. When I heard this story for the first time, I wanted to include it in my next collection, but historical records about Natlin aren't very detailed. We haven't been able to determine where the battle took place, or find any definitive evidence that it occurred at all. Even within the Masters of the Nightwind, people dispute the legitimacy of the story. Some believe it to be a myth. If that were the case, the story would not be fit for publication.
But if you're just including it in a story collection, why does it matter if it never happened?
Well, you see, the slogan for the collection is Restoring the Truth of History. Naturally, I need it to be factual. That's why I'm here. The Masters of the Nightwind are said to have a tradition of recording past events. So I wanted to consult their... But I was refused access to the Obsidian Altar. Application after application, and all I received were a few ordinary woven scrolls with nothing to offer.
According to my research, their scrolls are considered sacred relics in addition to historical records. Naturally, outsiders are rarely granted access. Not to mention, the scrolls we did get to review actually contain a huge amount of information.
We've been over this, Alier. There's no need to waste time on those scrolls when we have...
Citlalis, you mean?
Exactly. You're well aware, I'm sure, that Citlalis has been alive for more than 200 years. That means she lived during the era. If she agrees to be my consultant, then no other historical records are necessary.
Oh, that's what you want.
So, what do you say? I'll quadruple the pay if it helps sweeten the deal.
Well, it's not that we don't want to help you.
Ja, Mann, wir sollten sie wirklich fragen gehen. Immerhin haben wir ja noch eine Mission zu
Oh,
erfüllen.
right! The duty the chief gave us has a lot to do with wheat sealing. Who knows? The Battle of Seven Colors might lead us in the right direction. All right, we'll help you convince Citlalis. Just let us do the talking, okay?
Of course.
So. Wo haben wir sie denn? Da hinten ganz. So. Wo gehen wir denn dann am besten hin? So. Dann gehen wir wahrscheinlich wieder in diese Höhle. Gut. Was haben wir denn hier? Ach, hier waren wir, glaube ich, im letzten Part schon, ja. Haben Sie der mit deinen eigenen Augen an? Ne, andermal. So. Wir sind ja fast bei ihr. Ja, da bin ich mal gespannt, ob Citlalis sich so leicht überzeugen lässt. Oder nicht. Also ich sag mal so 50-50. Aber wir werden ja sehen. Vielleicht sehen wir sie ja gleich hier schon direkt. Nein. Ich habe sie jedenfalls hier nicht stehen sehen.
So, this is where the great shaman lives? A bit far from civilization, isn't it?
For someone like Citlalis, it actually makes a lot of sense.
Is this graffiti her work too? I wonder if it's a cultural practice. If I could just copy it down,
We're here for a reason, Alier. As agreed, you two can do the talking, and we'll wait for you here.
Okay, we'll go knock on the door. Hopefully she's not hungover.
Das ist bei ihr immer so ein 50-50-Ding. Klopf, klopf.
Citlalis? Are you there? We need your help with something. Oh, no response. Maybe she's not home.
Versuchen wir es mit ihrem anderen Namen.
Oh, Granny Eatsley? Are you home?
Die Tür wird plötzlich aufgeschlagen und der stechende Geruch vom Alkohol steckt ihr ins Gesicht.
If you're here to challenge me, book an appointment first.
Oh Mann. Eieiei. Alter, die Wohnung sieht ja aus. Oh Mann. Citlalis ist ein richtiger Stubenhocker. Ne?
Traveler!
Ja. Oh Mann. Plötzlich schließt sie die Tür. Oh Mann. Oh Gott, räumt sie eben schnell auf?
Looks like we came at a bad time.
Oh ja.
Are you still there? Just come in. We can talk inside.
Du hast mir die Tür vor der Nase zugeschlagen.
Well, at least we didn't get turned away.
Nee, aber sie hat aufgeräumt. Oder? Warte, ich möchte mich hier erstmal ein bisschen gucken. Also, die hat auf jeden Fall das Zeug zu einer wahren Künstlerin. Das kann man ihr nicht absprechen. Citlalis Wohnstätte. Oh Mann. Das klingt aber auch so. Nun ja,
So this is where Citlalis lives.
guck dich nicht zu genau um, das ist so unfreundlich.
I didn't have time to fully clean up the place. Complain if you want. Menial housework means nothing to a great shaman like myself. Besides, in light novels, people who keep everything neat and tidy are always too boring to be the protagonists. Also, I'm not a hermit. I'm just above superficial rules of societal etiquette.
Ja. So.
She sure does care a lot about what we think of her.
Oh ja. Wir
Oh,
könnten ja.
and that spell I used to transfer my senses to you, you're not still, experiencing the side effects, are you?
Da fragst du ziemlich spät nach.
It's my duty as a great shaman to check that kind of thing.
Oh, you mean when we could hear your thoughts? Nope. It's been so long, we don't have to worry about that anymore, right?
Then why do I hear the traveler's thoughts in my head?
Was?
What?
Oh, sie hat gehört, wie ich sie Stubenhocker genannt habe. Und das stört sie? Ich dachte, sie steht einfach über den oberflächlichen Regeln der sozialen Etikette.
I can still hear you, you know.
Es tut mir leid, falls ich dich beleidigt haben sollte.
Don't bother. I'll find a way to fix it. First you hear my thoughts, now I'm hearing your thoughts.
Was ist schlimmer?
It's just a simple spell. I use it on you and now it's on the Fritz.
Gib mir nicht die Schuld.
Forget it. Just tell me why you're here.
Well, someone asked us to ask you to be their consultant. They have questions about the history of Natland.
So they asked the hero of Natland to put in a good word? Sounds like they know I don't usually trouble myself with other people's problems.
The pay is really good.
Oh. Die Augen. Oh Gott, sie kriegt gleich dieselben Augen. Was?
Doesn't matter. I'm busy.
She sure doesn't look busy. Paimon knew this wouldn't get us anywhere.
Wie sähe es aus, wenn die Bitte von mir käme?
From you?
Yeah, we were given a sacred duty to help your tribe weave a special scroll.
Huh? So, you're the appointed ones this time?
We were surprised too. After all, we have no idea how to weave a scroll like that. But with Chef Biram's help, we were able to make some progress. We still haven't succeeded, but we learned that the key to weaving the scroll is a special... The historical event those men want to ask about also involves color. If you help them, you might end up helping... She's giving us that face again. Did Paimon not explain things clearly?
I can't decide whether this twist is completely out of the blue or if it was foreshadowed all along.
Does that mean you won't help us?
I need to think about it.
Dann denk schneller.
Then there's still hope.
Hey, what's the holdup? Just give us an answer already.
You agreed to let us do the talking.
Oh. Das sind Stuhlheile. Oh, jetzt.
Citlalis?
Okay, jetzt geht's ab. Citlalis läuft unvermittelt hinaus und ihr eilt hinterher. Oh, 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 oh. Das kann ja jetzt was werden.
Stand down, Grudok! As your employer, if I tell you to wait, then you wait.
Understood.
You're the great shaman who's been alive for centuries? But you're so... Apologies for the disturbance. Grudok is...
You're lucky you didn't force Citlalis' hand.
Well, since you're here, how about a discussion?
Do you
Yeah,
have
Bob.
any idea who I am? Did you think Granny Eatsley would be fooled by your little performance?
I
have no intention of speaking to you. Your recent hire interrupted me right as I was about to make an important decision. Pull a trick like that again, and I'll make your lives a living horror novel, except 10 times worse. That's all I came out here to say.
Whoa.
Traveler, we have a discussion to finish.
You live up to your name, Granny Itztli. I apologize for the offense. I'm just surprised the Battle of Seven Colors didn't pique your interest.
You're investigating the Battle of Seven Colors?
Ah, the Traveler didn't get to that part? Yes, I thought the Traveler could help me convince you. But, if I'm not mistaken, you have... I heard that the great shaman Huitzilin was a friend of yours. If I can resolve the controversy and prove the battle took place, I'll include it in my next collection. Then, all of Tevat will learn it. With your support, your friend's heroic deeds will once again be known throughout the land. Inspiring, don't you think?
Du würdest mir dabei helfen, meine Mission zu erfüllen. Und auch dein Stamm würde es eine Menge bedeuten.
If this is really about that duty, then... fine. I'll help you.
I'm honored.
Save it. I agreed to help the Traveler, not you. You'll just have to leech what you can.
Well, at least she agreed to help.
Sieht ganz so aus, als zahlt sich meine Freundschaft mit Citlalis endlich aus. Sie ist wohl kein herzloser Typ. Oh Gott, das endlich könnte sie ziemlich beleidigen.
Who are you calling heartless?
Den letzten.
Not a problem. I always plan to work with the Traveler. So, did you directly experience any events of the battle? Do you have any idea where it took place? Can you think of any relics we could use to prove it?
Talk at me, why don't you?
Das würde ich auch gerne wissen.
Fine. No, no, and no. I did live during the same era as her, but that doesn't mean we experienced the same events. I've lived a long time, but I'm not a walking encyclopedia. You decide the angle of your investigation, and I'll provide answers if I'm familiar with the subject.
All right. Even if you didn't witness the battle yourself, you still lived through that era. Your insights are very valuable. Alier, you had an idea about where to start, yes?
Oh, well, my plan was to consult the members of the tribe in charge of recording history.
Then, let's start there. Traveler, what do you say to officially working together? After all, it appears I can only get Miss Citlalis' help through you.
Kein Problem. Ja gut. Dann sind wir jetzt mitten in der Quest. So. Und dann reisen wir wieder zurück in die Geschichte hier. Oh, ich glaube, ich bin einmal zu weit nach unten gekommen. Okay, da sind wir wieder. Die nächsten Cutscene. Okay.
You don't seem super invested in this whole thing, Citlalis.
Ich glaube, sie hat einfach keinen Bock.
The Battle of Seven Colors is something I've only ever heard about. I know as much as anyone else in my tribe.
But how? Weren't you alive when it happened?
I wasn't there when it took place, and she never told me about it. That's how.
But Molusan said the two of you were close friends. The battle was legendary.
Close friends? More like arch rivals. Something Montlusan would know if he actually did his research. Did you see the graffiti outside my house? That's not my doing. All students from Weeziling's School of Shamanism must pass an extremely difficult trial before graduation. Those graffiti drawings are how they challenge me.
Warte, wie bitte?
Of course, none of them ever succeeded. So, after Weeziling's death, her students had no choice but to modify the requirement. Instead of defeating me, all they have to do now is last long enough.
Ja, das klingt nach einer notwendigen Anpassung.
As my rival, Weeziling only had one achievement that surpassed my own. And that was the Battle of 7 Colors. I can only assume she had. It makes perfect sense that she kept it from me. I'm a fast learner. Telling me about the technique is no different than handing it to me on a silver platter. As if she would give away her...
Oh, that makes sense.
Anyway, all of that is secondary. Like I said, I'm only here to help you fulfill your duty.
Also macht Citlalis das alles nur für mich?
Don't misunderstand. This duty is important for my tribe, too. A great shaman should do her part to see it done.
Eine große Schamanin könnte sich auch mal ein bisschen mehr um ihre Wohnung kümmern. Oh, fuck.
Excuse you? I fail to see what housekeeping has to do with my duty as a shaman. Why is it that you're the one whose thoughts are exposed, but I'm still the one suffering? I need to get to the bottom of this.
Excuse me, great shaman, but we have a situation over here. We could really use your help.
Bitte, große Schamanin.
Okay.
Ich glaube, diese Quest wird ziemlich unterhaltsam.
Of course the Battle of 7 Colors happened. The woven scroll proves it. Weeziling used a mysterious color to construct a maze and trap the...
That's just your interpretation. There's more than one way to understand that scroll.
Weeziling was one of the most powerful shamans of her time. She definitely could...
That's the biggest problem. She had students. Why not? A technique that powerful? And no shamans...
Her students are keeping it a secret, of course. If you knew a technique like that, you'd be...
Oh, I didn't mean to cause an argument. I just wanted to ask, is there anything we can use to prove that...
Of course it took place. Why would you need to prove it?
You'll have to excuse him. Some people in our tribe insist on clinging to outdated views of history.
Please don't fight.
Wow, so the battle really is controversial.
Am I the outdated one? Kids these days can't find anything better to argue about?
These arguments are precisely why I hesitate to Neither side was able to offer anything useful.
Weeziling was a passionate teacher. We were opposites in that sense. The technique she used in the battle must have been her masterpiece. Still, if the technique is powerful enough to single-handedly stop an invasion, we should check with the students from her school. If we can confirm the technique exists, we can deduce certain things about the battle.
But as far as I know, most of the shamans from her school occupy high positions in the tribe. Not the type of...
Right. The obsidian altar is off limits to you. But
Is there a problem?
most of Weeziling's students are respected priests in the tribe. But that means they had to go through me. Or try, at least. I, of course, humiliate. Those who hold the position now are the ones who lasted long enough before I wiped the floor with them.
Okay.
If I show
Ja,
up
den
without
Spieler
warning, they'll run for dear life.
ignorieren wir jetzt erstmal.
That's not gonna get us any answers.
Yeah, Paimon can see it now.
Was ihr Leben kann, klingt, als wäre Citlalis eine Tyrannin. Oh.
Hey, don't jump to conclusions. That was just a metaphor.
Ich sorge schon dafür, dass sie nicht weglaufen. Wer könnte sich besser gegen einen Tyrannen wehren als ein Held aus Nettland?
Only you have the guts to joke like that with me, traveler. Fine, I said I'd help, so I'll help. But don't blame me if it goes wrong.
Alright, the rest of you can wait for us here.
We appreciate the help.
Sehr schön. So, da ist Paimon schon wieder weg. Die hier. Altar. Ja gut, dann gehen wir zu dem Altar und gucken, was das für uns Das war sehr knapp. Das wäre ein Fallschaden. Fast um ein Haar gekrepiert wären. Okay, wir müssen noch weiter runter. Gut. Dann machen wir das einfach mal ganz schnell. Okay. Hier haben wir auch schon alles erledigt. Krass. Nicht schlecht. So. Oh, hier ist auch ziemlich nebelig. Was haben wir denn hier?
Let's hope we have a good fight.
Dann besiegen wir sie mal ganz schnell. Ich stehe ein bisschen schneller. Jetzt, wo ich hier zufällig diesen Schatz hier entdecke.
Insolent.
Target acquired.
So, zack.
Yoo-hoo! Time to shine.
So, zack. So, da ist der Gegner tot. So. Naja, fast. Hallo.
Illusion shattered.
So. Wo bist du denn? Da. Also, wir haben immer noch hier 2. So.
Stray clouds converge.
Wo ist getroffen?
Let's finish this next.
Down.
Now you shall perish.
Auch getroffen. Ja, sehr schön. So. Was war das für ein Sprung?
Take them. I have no need.
Ich wollte gerade sagen, ziemlich viel Inhalt drin, aber nun ja. So, jetzt müssen wir hier irgendwie einen Weg runter finden. Irgendwie. Was soll denn hier gemacht werden? Eine legendäre Tour ist hier. Haben wir denn hier zufällig... Haben wir denn hier zufällig... So ein Vogel hier in der Nähe? Nicht, dass ich ihn sehe. Auf jeden Fall, dieser Ort hier wird markiert, aber sowas von. So, 86% von den Schätzen habe ich hier schon. Aber diese Stelle gucke ich mir mal wann anders an. Jetzt laufen wir ja, glaube ich, gerade im Kreis so ein bisschen. Haben wir nur im Stunden handeln? Ah, nee. Ich glaube, hier sind wir richtig. Sehr schön. Ich wusste doch, wir schaffen das. So. Zeremoniealter des Rätsel. Okay, ja. Dann haben wir das hier ein bisschen gefunden.
Okay.
Ja, mit Finitki kommen wir dann hier doch noch ein bisschen schneller her.
Oh, are you in the middle of a ceremony?
Granny Eatsley?
What is she doing?
Did some coward not show up after challenging her to a fight?
Or is she here to officially take over the tribe?
Whoa. It's like they really do see her as some kind of tyrant.
No matter what, we'll defend our dignity as priests to the end.
Ugh, you talk a big game for someone who lost to me the most out of the entire priesthood.
Oh.
What?
All I want is to ask some questions.
So, you're here to interrogate us?
Someone didn't sit pretty for their beating? Is that it? You want their name, don't you?
We should just run!
Keine Angst.
Yeah, with the hero of Natlan here, Granny Eatsley will be on her best behavior.
Was?
Sure, whatever you say.
Oh, it's the Traveler and her companion. That does make me feel better. How?
We wanted to ask about the technique you inherited from Huitzili.
Huh. So you can eradicate our school once.
Disciples of our school have challenged her year after year, just as our master instructed. Sounds like she's finally had enough.
Well, you're not wrong.
If we want to protect our legacy, one of us needs to run.
Not this again. Just how much did you traumatize them, Citlalis?
Sie hat sie in einem Duell geschlagen, Nauf. Kein Grund, so verängstigt zu sein. Citlalis ist jemand, die Respekt und Zuneigung verdient. Sie weiß genau, dass sie ihre Gedanken hören kann.
Hey! You can't just say whatever you want just because it's in your head! I'm Granny Eatsley. A mere mention of my name and kids burst into tears. Love and respect? No one has the guts for that.
Also, ich habe den Mut dazu.
You know what? Forget about your duty. We really need to fix this mind-reading situation.
Sorry to disappoint, but if you're here to question whether we're qualified to inherit our master's legacy, we're not...
We're not getting anywhere. What should we do, Traveler?
Lass mich nachdenken.
Huh? Oh, it's you.
Elder Tlapo! Oh, we must have disturbed your meditation. Did Elder Tlapo just issue a...
From what I can tell, in a single...
Is Elder Tlapo telling us to treat Granny...
That's not possible, is it?
Oh, you forget yourselves, my friends. You are esteemed priests of...
But
I didn't expect to see you here, great shaman. My sincere apologies for the lack of hospitality.
Well, I wasn't exactly planning to come to this crowded place. So you can save the pleasantries, Chief. I'd rather get this over.
Understood. Now, as successors of Huitzilin, I understand. However, Elder Tlapo's declarations have always showed us the correct path, so mind your manners and allow Granny Eatsley to ask her question.
Good thing Elder Tlapo and Chief Biram are on our side.
Ja gut. Ja gut, dann würde ich auch mal so vorschlagen, dass wir das... Ja gut, nach diesem Dialog hier machen wir dann Schluss für heute, würde ich mal so sagen.
Hi there, Elder Tlapo!
Lange nicht gesehen.
Hey, he seems pretty happy to see us.
He's the one who put you in charge of the scroll, right?
Yeah, Elder Tlapo appointed us to...
Elder Tlapo, huh? He's still Claw to me. Hey, don't pull that cutesy stuff with me. You're an Iktomi-Sor Elder now. You occupy an eminent and important position.
So, you already know each other?
Claw was only this big when we first met. He was Huitzilin's Saurian companion back then. She kept dragging him to my place, so over time, we got to know each other.
Klingt, als wär du und Huitzilin gut befreundet gewesen.
She only came to my place to fight me. But at the same time, she always claimed to be my friend. She was the only one who did.
Well, you've lived a long time. You've probably made a bunch of friends over the years, right?
The more time you have, the more friends you lose.
Oh,
Anyway, let's get back to business. I hate talking about the past. Oh, 200 years and you still haven't... I still haven't made up my mind, so you should head back. Traveler, Paimon, let's go.
Okay. Gut, sie hat keine Lust mehr. Wir haben keine Lust mehr. So, dann würde ich sagen, wir machen im nächsten Part weiter. Und dann sage ich mal, bis dann und ciao, Leute.